Back in the day when we had the gold rush, people went out west, they started panning for gold. What happened? We had crime, we had people robbing each other.
Old-time tombstone-type robberies where you're riding up on a horse, shooting people and stealing, the chests of money.
Cryptocurrency hacks are pretty much the modern version of these old-timey heists.
We could use that dough. Besides, it ought to be easy.
Today in 2022, people don't have to walk into a building and stick anyone up to take money. They do it from the comfort of their own rooms.
You're doing this in your pajamas on your computer at any time of the day. Still using the oldest trick in the books to circumvent security that's in place to steal things.
It's the Wild West.
Okay, so you're about to hear the story behind the largest cryptocurrency theft from a single individual in history, and we're gonna get to that. But first, we need to do some housekeeping. You see, in order to understand how it went down, we need to be honest with ourselves about how little most of us really know about this stuff. For example,
what is crypto? Is a really great question.
I think the simple terms for what cryptocurrency is just a digital currency that exists on the internet.
It's essentially a peer-to-peer system which allows anyone, anywhere, at any point in time in the world to transfer value from point A to point B.
And it's decentralized so that everyone is in control of their own assets.
in other words, no banks, no bank fees. It's just you, anonymously dealing directly with other anonymous crypto users. It all takes place on a digital network designed to be bulletproof, called the blockchain.
The blockchain is a permanent record of all transactions that take place between buyers and sellers, a permanent public record for all to see.
I liken blockchain to a railway, where when you lay down the tracks of a railway, each part is dependent on the part before it and the part after it. So similar to blockchain, you can't change a single part in the middle, meaning you can't go back and change a transaction because the entire block becomes corrupted.
And in the world of blockchain, there is no bank manager.
Because of that, you have independent parties at all times earning small fees for validating transactions before they take place. It makes for great auditing and record keeping and permanent information storage when things go wrong.
But the blockchain has never been hacked. There's never been a brute force attack on the blockchain itself.
But just like those Wild West heists, there is a weak spot, the human component. In the crypto world, you're not only your own bank, you're also the security guard. And something you need to guard really well is your hot wallet.
A hot wallet is essentially an online wallet to store your cryptocurrency.
It's where you leave active funds in, the money that you're actively transacting.
Think of a hot wallet as your app on your phone, similar to your banking app. You log in, you can transfer money from one person to another.
But the risk of this is that your mobile device has vulnerabilities.
A hot wallet can be hacked if someone essentially has access to your phone.
And this is the weakness of crypto because humans make mistakes. It's as if you put a suitcase with money in your back seat and you hope no one breaks your window open.
And there's people out there who will take your money faster than you can imagine.
Just ask this guy, Josh Jones.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Zorro or Robinhood or something. Like liberating the Bitcoins. And you're like, yeah.
Jones was one of the first to join the crypto gold rush, not long after the first digital currency, Bitcoin, went live back in 2008. He's a modern-day tycoon, kind of like a digital Rockefeller.
He was in early stage. He was in the right crowd to be able to get involved in crypto investments.
Those who looked at cryptocurrency in the early 2010, they saw it as a way to revolutionize the way that the financial system worked.
They were optimists. They were those with a little bit of money that bought something and held it, and it ended up working out for them.
For Jones, it worked out big time.
You're almost like a gangster of Bitcoin at this point in time.
Today, his net worth is in the billions.
We're not going to call Josh Jones a fool, but what we're going to say is if we were to talk to Josh Jones today and we said and he was to look back at what happened, he would say that this occurred probably because he acted in a foolish manner.
In 2020, one early February morning, Jones woke up in his Los Angeles mansion to discover he was missing $45 million from his hot wallet.
45 million is one of the biggest crypto thefts I've seen from an individual.
$45 million is game show money to me. I don't know, that's just like unimaginable sums of money that like you could like truly like Scrooge McDuck dive into and kind of like have a really fun time.
I mean, we have Josh Jones, who's an experienced investor, who's keeping $45 million in a hot wallet. It could be that Jones was an aggressive investor and would typically maintain an exchange profile which would have 45 million sitting in an active hot wallet. Or it could be that he was planning a transaction, but you should not leave money in there which you're not using.
It would never be advisable for anyone to keep $45 million in an unregulated source, especially in cyberspace.
I think there was a major oh shit moment going on in Josh Jones' home the moment that this occurred, and was just, you know, devastated.
What's even more incredible, though, is how it happened and who pulled it off.
So I didn't know who Josh Jones was. I had no idea this guy was even a billionaire.
If you're thinking this guy did it, you're wrong. It was actually this guy, or at least his real-life equivalent. We tell you his name, but we can't. That's sealed because he was just 17 when he did it. Just to keep things on track, though, we're gonna call him. As for how our friend here got involved, well...
My name's Sean Carr. I'm from Toronto, Ontario. On February 25th, 2020, I received a message from pretty much just saying that he stole a lot of money. So I searched online and I saw that $45 million, it was stolen. And so I screenshotted it and showed him it and said, "You did this?" And I said, "Yeah." I was like, that is crazy. Like in my head, it was just like, wow, like, damn, this kid really stole $45 million. I first met about 2016. He said he was from Canada, and I said I was from Canada. My first impression, he's very nice to me. Like I related with him, he related to me. And I guess we just had a bunch of things in common. Like he genuinely seemed like a nice person. He enjoyed video games like me. We just stayed in contact on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. I first noticed he was getting into the worst side of things when he started scamming people for like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. He'd hack like Amazon accounts, and that's like what everyone starts as. They just start scamming for a little bit of money. But the first time he got a lot was when he took the $45 million. When he first messaged me, he was honestly very scared, like, about the things that would happen next, and like people coming after him. Once he took all of it, the damage was done. And so he couldn't just return the money like it was stealing from a shop. It was crypto, like you can't just return it.
$45 million is more money than most people will ever see in a lifetime. And that lack of just like understanding how big of a deal it is. Go back to when you're 17 and now you have $45 million sitting in your control. What would you do?
The crime of the century has shocked and fascinated America and the world.
I know the story, I've been told the story a bunch of times, but $45 million, like, you just left it out there? Really? I just cannot believe that someone who's so into Bitcoin and is one of like a very popular, successful person off of these coins doesn't know how to keep the money safe.
It's February of 2020, and the online forum Reddit is on fire.
Reddit serves as like a news board for whatever's happening on the internet. And if some big scandal happened, people will post what happened.
A user going by the name Zujianfu has made a panic post stating $45 million worth of Bitcoin had been yanked from his digital hot wallet.
Can you read the Reddit post?
Ready?
Yeah.
It's my address, goddammit. If any minors, the community can help. Somehow I've got the private keys. Help, help, help. Big reward, obviously.
This is a reply from Heslo_RB26. Seems this user is actually Josh Jones, the security genius behind BitcoinBuilder.com. I didn't know this. Come on. And he's also a security genius? Like, he's the one who's like helping build these systems? This is sad. This is very sad.
Josh Jones realized, oh crap, I'm missing 40-something million dollars. And the first thing he did was he went out and he solicited assistance. What Josh had posted of kind of a bit cringeworthy, but if I was in his shoes, I would be, damn the torpedoes, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that he felt a big dark pit in his stomach. Then after that, law enforcement got involved.
Hey, wait a minute. Haven't you ever heard of the Lone Ranger?
The Lone Ranger?
I own silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver.
Samy Tarazi, I'm a detective with the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office.
The Lone Ranger.
I own silver! Away!
Santa Clara County, it's pretty much in the heart of Silicon Valley. It's 5 miles from Apple, 10 miles from Google.
So basically, it's a giant digital gold mine. That's why Santa Clara County is also home to a specialist cyber crime fighting unit known as the REACT Team, which is where Detective Tarazi was working when Jones's millions disappeared.
REACT stands for Regional Enforcement Allied Computer Team. It was created by the California legislative branch in the 90s to combat high-tech crime. We were investigating a lot of cryptocurrency theft, and that's been going on for the last 3 or 4 years.
All right, men, reach high.
By 2020, REACT had already solved many crypto hacks, and there was sort of a notoriety.
We sure showed them, didn't we? Come on, you get going.
We were at the forefront of these investigations. We weren't the lead investigative body for this case, but $45 million was stolen. Let's keep our ears out. This isn't going to be a REACT case, but we know it's going to touch us.
Right away, Tarazi and the REACT team got to work. First job, figuring out how the hack went down.
So as far as we knew, in early 2020, it was a SIM swap of a California resident. In a SIM swap, each phone company gives you a SIM card to put into your phone.
What a SIM swap would be is basically moving the subscriber account to a different device.
So when the bad guy wants to take control of your phone, he goes to the carrier and either through trick, ruse, or working at the company themselves, will go onto the network and say, change the SIM card from the victim's SIM card to the SIM card that I have, the bad guy has, in my possession.
The actual act itself is quite quick. There's a SIM card swap, there's a password breach, there's a transfer of funds.
They have complete control over the assets, and they transfer them out to a wallet that they control, and there's no way for the victim to claw that back from them.
The moment that this occurred, the Bitcoin funds were transferred from one wallet, which was Mr. Jones's wallet, to another wallet held by whoever was behind this whole thing.
Okay, so these are the messages sent me February 25th of 2020. How you been? I said, I've been better. And after that, he said, we gotta chill soon, ASAP. When he did message me about stealing all that money, he thought it was just $1 million and that's it. And then when he logged in and saw the amount that he did, he was scared. Like, he was desperate to pretty much get away from it and like hide from the whole scene. He asked me if I wanted to come with him to Hamilton. He would pretty much pay for hotel rooms, and I would just sign the paperwork if there was any, and I would be the one to show ID and get the hotel rooms due to the fact that I was 20 and he was 17. So he couldn't do anything really, like get a hotel. At the time, I lost where I was living and I had no money. So I had to go to the shelter. So February 2020, I was like very much trying to get out of the shelter system. I just thought I'm not gonna be in the shelter any longer. And so I went to Hamilton, and then that's, like, we stayed in the first hotel. At first, I thought it was gonna be fun. Like, I thought we were gonna be able to do fun things. Like, yeah, like, I guess some people would think that anyone who steals $45 million would be able to stay at a 5-star hotel with room service. We didn't really stay at the most fanciest places. Typical day while it was me and him in a hotel room. He was just sitting there on his computer, just playing video games, talking to his friends on the computer, and also getting Uber Eats. There was a lot of Uber Eats. Like, every single time he wanted food, he would order Uber Eats. I think he put in about maybe $1,000 worth of Uber Eats, like for gift cards, into his account. There's a lot of garbage. And then he'd also be gambling his money. Like, I saw his wallet a couple times. He had well over $5 million just on his laptop. He had a ledger device he was always carrying. Yeah, he was gambling with all the money that he had. I saw him deposit $100,000 into an online casino, and he lost it all in like 20 minutes. The fact that he stole that much and thinks, oh yeah, it's a game, like, I'm not gonna be touched. I definitely feel like his ego got the best of him.
We were getting tips from a bunch of people just at our, our general inbox and getting phone calls. Hundreds of tips were dead ends, hundreds.
Weeks after the brazen online heist, Santa Clara County Detective Samy Tarazi is no closer to tracking down the thief who'd stripped billionaire Josh Jones of $45 million in cryptocurrency.
Our inbox is getting inundated with fake tips, pointing the fingers in the wrong direction. Everyone would be chatting about like, hey, this guy stole this, when they don't really know. The only people who know are the people who did it.
Meanwhile, in Canada, any fears that had about getting caught seem to have disappeared completely.
He could have just not said anything. Instead, he had to tell people, like, whatever his ego is, it made him tell everybody what he had done. I definitely feel like the drive for him was to have the bragging rights. He was just able to say online, guys, look, I got all this money. I guess in his words, the fattest lick ever. And so he was able to talk about it and tell everyone what he did. He was showing off all his cool stuff. He did kind of like forget that he was on the run and he did something very illegal because he just wasn't gonna know what was coming next.
So, you know, we've all watched the movies. The crime is done. You've robbed the bank. You got trunkloads of money. What don't you do? You don't go out and buy the Cadillac that afternoon, right? People get caught because they do stupid stuff.
Most of our hackers in this SIM swapping world that I've talked to have started out gaming at an early age and being online. Playing online with people you don't know from all around the world and chatting with them and building relationships.
People just like attention, and gaming platforms allow a lot of that really easily.
They have the same peer pressure to appear cool. And to appear cool, you need a cool username on one of these platforms that's used heavily by millions of people.
Like on Sony PlayStation. It's home to a huge market for one-of-a-kind usernames, or PSNs, that can help take a gamer from zero to hero.
PlayStation gives you the most bizarre usernames. They'll be like chicken duck 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and they give you the chance to change that handle. So a lot of people don't want the base handle; they want something way cooler than that.
Now they're off.
In the community in general, any username that's cool and gives you some type of status and credibility.
So much so that they would spend ridiculous sums of money to get a cool username, just so people are like, "That's cool."
And it was the purchase of one PSN username in particular that set off alarm bells for Detective Samy Tarazi.
We had heard a rumor that the person who stole this money bought the username God, G-O-D, on the PlayStation Network.
There is no tangible benefit to having a cool username like God. It's just people being like, whoa, dang, that's a cool username. It's just for that reaction. It's just for that like visual. And when we talk about like online personas, like that feeds into your persona. Like this personality has the username God. Isn't that cool?
When he told me he spent $50,000 on the PSN God, I was like, it's just stupid. Like, I never heard of anyone spending $50,000 on a PSN.
The most I've seen was $100 to $200, and maybe even sometimes $1,000. But $50,000 is kind of ridiculous to me.
Was seeing a super horse that day, a horseman's dream come true, proving his blood the best of his breed.
It just goes to show how hardcore was into gaming. I mean, that name meant the world to him. And so to anybody else who lusts after material possessions, they would have gone out and, went out for a big vacation, bought a villa. But to him, the ultimate thing that he lusted for was that PSN God name. He put a big flag on himself. It made him very visible to the public and to authorities.
Well, nothing yet, but I think I'll break this one quick.
I hope you're right about that quick.
We looked into that and traced that transfer of that username through legal process. Sony can tell us who's using that username. And it's very easy to go from IP address to physical address. So that led us to the actual suspect living in Canada.
I said, why don't we just get a private jet and leave this country? Like, we'll leave everything behind, we'll just ghost, and we'll be ghost. If it was me who took the money, I would have been gone out of Canada in 2 minutes. But instead, he just didn't want to. His visions were much different. He wanted to stay in Hamilton. I guess he felt like it was a game. Like, you have to keep going.
Sean Carr has been on the run for close to a month. And what started out as a joyride is now hell on wheels.
People would think that, oh yeah, this guy was friends with a millionaire. He stole a bunch of money and he got it the best time of his life. But it just ended up being bad. He had all the money. He had all the say over what we did. Anytime he'd want to go out, I had to go with him. And whenever we'd go out, he'd be the one to buy stuff. So he was really just using me for my age and all that.
You stay here. You stay and see the show.
He never gave me money. He never let me do whatever I wanted.
You stay here, find out, and then come tell me.
I asked him for $20. He called me poor.
But with no other place to live, Sean had now tied himself to on the run like an off-brand Butch and Sundance.
We got a 2-bedroom apartment in Mississauga, and so we moved to Mississauga. There was nothing to show that we were gonna get arrested and whatnot. So I guess it was kind of feeling like nothing was gonna happen. But when he told me he spent $50,000 on the PSN God, I was like, you're kind of stupid. Like, if anyone that sees that much spent on a PSN, they're gonna investigate it.
Weeks go by. Sean and are still roaming free. But his days of playing God are now numbered.
When I answered the door, there were 2 officers and pretty much said that someone made a call about abusing his girlfriend. And they were pretty much asking me like if there were any females in the house. I said no. There's anyone screaming? I said no. Because yeah, there wasn't, it was just me and him. And so that call, that was obviously false. I guess it was just a checkup.
Whatever that knock on the door was really about, neither Sean or took the hint. Doesn't take a genius to figure out what happens next.
Three months after he did it, in May 2020 in the morning, I was sleeping and he was playing video games. And out of nowhere, I heard loud bangs. Like they were screaming. It was like, Hamilton police, there's a search warrant. We're coming in. Flashbang, especially the flashbang. Like that was loud. And it set off the fire alarms. There was smoke everywhere. It was literally like a video game, like being in the video game. And so it was very scary. And then after that, the guy kicked in my door. Said, Hamilton police, it's a search warrant, don't move.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot, got it.
And then I heard a dog, so the canines came in. They were looking in the bathroom, in the living room, the kitchen. They were coming around the whole house. And then they asked me, who is in this house with you in the other room? And I said, it's there. It's like, it's in the other room. The officer that was there pretty much said, like, we're here for not you, so you're okay. And when they found they arrested him. And apparently the police were tracking us at the last hotel we were at. They did some recon on us. They knew what he was up to. They were able to find one ledger device, 2 of his phones, his laptop, his PC. Yeah, like I thought it was game over for him, like no more.
What's a 17-year-old know about protecting himself when his identity is known by law enforcement? They're not going to get away with stealing millions of dollars and ride off into the sunset.
It's May 2020, and a 17-year-old from Hamilton, Ontario, has just been arrested after a SIM swap attack that swiped $45 million from Bitcoin billionaire Josh Jones.
I thought he's done, like he's done. Like, he's never coming back. There's no way he's gonna get released anytime soon. I give a statement, tell them everything that happened, but they just said he committed a crime. It was theft over $5,000, and that's it. So in my head, I was telling myself, dang, so yeah, this is the only charge that he got. He stole $45 million. There should be justice served. Like, at least 2-3 years in prison will set him straight. You can't just steal money in life and get away with it.
But after a 2-year court case, ultimately pleads guilty and gets just 1 year of probation, all because he was still a minor and it was his first offense.
It's very easy to be upset that he got no jail time because he stole $45 million, but he's a teenager and he outsmarted like a billionaire who wasn't securely locking up his stuff. I don't think that is a crime worth jail time.
We have a judicial system that determines what's fair for a punishment. How many years in prison is fair. And the victim wants their money back more than anything.
Yeah, about that money.
The fact that he was 17 and only $7 million was recovered kind of was a real big tell there.
Where is the money is the question.
Now they're off.
Some of the stuff they spent money on is unrecoverable, like buying usernames on PlayStation, going to a club, and buying bottle service. Like, that's just money we'll never recover, and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars that way. But it's not the end of it, for sure.
So what about the rest of it? Remember back when we told you about the blockchain that basically records every crypto transaction? Well, the one thing working for the bad guys here is one of crypto's cornerstone principles: anonymity.
You can see where the money goes, and you can see the money get transferred out of these wallets to many other wallets, but you can't see who's holding the money.
And there's ways on blockchains to hide what you're doing. And basically, if you think of it as a washing your money, you take crypto, you put it into a service that has a bunch of crypto coming in from many sources, and then your stolen crypto comes out. And without law enforcement knowing exactly the inner workings of that mechanism, it's almost impossible to say with any certainty what happened to it.
So the detectives can figure out which wallet it's in. They just don't know who owns it. And that's the whole thing about blockchain, is that the identity of the wallet owner is not, written on the wallet.
If Hamilton police came in the first place, when they first found out where we were, they would have seen how much he really had. But I guess because they did it so late, he was able to clean most of it and get it all out.
So, you know, the police may have got 7 million, but my feeling is that only a portion was recovered because our kid in Hamilton is not a sole actor in this. The cybercrimes that I've been involved with, you know, we see that this is not just a lone wolf who's doing this. I don't believe that a 17-year-old in Hamilton, Ontario, had the skills and the resources to be able to execute a SIM swap on a victim in California. There's a reason he was 17. And there's a reason that only $7 million was recovered from him. And it's because he was part of a much bigger crew.
Saddle your horses, boys, and 3 jumps in of a party. Come on, Fuzzy can eat later. Here we go again.
Do you think this suspect worked alone?
No.
Did work alone?
No. No, 100% no. He did not work alone. Someone helped him and found the target.
Going around and back.
Like, they definitely had been talking together prior to doing it, because he wouldn't just say, hit this $45 million wallet or this billionaire wallet. There had to be some type of trust in there. And then once everything was ready, did the SIM swap. It was that did most of the work.
Get going.
And so, did he strike gold? Well, in the end, not really, because he's the one who was basically the pawn. He was put in front to, you know, be the one to take the fall.
While the missing money is for now a mystery, life for will go on as if nothing happened. Or not. We'll never really know because we'll never be able to name him. Josh Jones, meanwhile, is still a little under $40 million out of pocket. Given his net worth is well into the billions, he's gonna be fine.
Has Bitcoin bottomed out? There's plenty of uncertainty in the cryptocurrency markets right now.
Bitcoin took a further collapse over the weekend. Cryptocurrencies on a whole have tumbled as investors get rid of riskier assets.
Probably. As for Sean,
I've asked them multiple times, why was I not arrested? Because I knew what happened, and it's a crime to aid and abet a criminal, and they just didn't want to arrest me. But there's just so much that happened to me just because I was staying with this guy because of what my situation was. I was SIM swapped. I was hacked.
why would people targeting you, do you think?
Well, because I was living with him, they thought I knew his passwords, his passcodes. They all thought I had his money. So they were all coming after me saying, yo, we want his money, bro. I kind of did feel used by. He stole all the money. All I did was just get myself out of a bad situation. I was homeless. Like anyone that's homeless, if someone came up to them and said, hey, I just stole $45 million. I need your help. You can stay in the hotel with me. And, you will never have to pay for anything. Anyone would say yes. I just don't know why he chose me. And if he didn't tell me like anything at all, I'd probably be somewhere else in life right now.
Do you hate?
So I don't hate the kid, but I do feel like he just made a bad choice.
These kids are very, very smart and computer savvy. It's sad to see like such talent wasted on things like this.
Theft is theft, whether it was this physical theft, like a bank robbery, or somebody hacking your phone. It's an individual figuring out the system, the flaws in the system, and exploiting it.
Will there be other Josh Jones?
Absolutely. I think as long as there's easy money to be made, there'll be thieves there to take it.
He's not the first and he's not the last. In the end, I think it's a great cautionary tale for everyone. And regardless if you're trading 45 million or 4,500, it's the same problem. It's just you have to conduct yourself in a manner where you understand security and how to protect your wallet and yourself.
I feel like the whole moral of just the case is just these people think that they can get away with it merely because it's not face-to-face crime. But it's money, like, it is not a joke. It's very real. People are working hard, they're making their money and investing into something. So if you have the skills and knowledge to do something bad, just be good with it.